This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 1469, 3 Simple Ways to Raise Good Kids, by Adina Soclof of ParentingSimply.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a parenting post here on ORD. I'm your host, Greg Audino. Glad to have you back once again and being given a chance to share more great insight with you about the whirlwind that is parenting. We'll be hearing work from one of our regulars today, Adina Soclof, who is all parenting all the time. She offers parenting courses in addition to her many great articles and is a fully trusted source that we love to read from. So without further ado, let's hear her 3 simple ideas for raising good kids and start optimizing your life. 3 Simple Ways to Raise Good Kids, by Adina Soclof of ParentingSimply.com. Parenting in this day and age is tough. Many parents wonder if it's possible to raise good kids, or if it's just a losing battle. As a parent educator and coach, I often hear complaints like these from parents. My kids are always misbehaving. My kids are so irresponsible. My kids act all entitled. My children are so impatient. They want everything and they want it right away. I encourage them to remember that they're still kids. They are still learning how to behave. They're going to act irresponsibly because they haven't learned how to be responsible yet. They're going to act entitled because they've not learned how to restrain their impulses. They have no self-control because their brain is not fully developed. They actually don't have the brakes that adults have that help us control our behavior and act patiently. Good behavior is learned. Kids need to learn how to be good and what it means to be a moral, ethical, upstanding person. That's why kids have us, their parents. We're the ones who need to teach kids to act responsibly, restrain their impulses, and put the brakes on bad behavior. And in the meantime, we're going to see lots of pretty awful behavior. It's a part of childhood, and it's perfectly normal. So, as parents, we need to ask ourselves some questions. My kids are so irresponsible. How do I teach my kids to be responsible? My kids act all entitled. How do I teach them to be grateful? My children have no self-control. How do I teach them patience? Which is really 3 questions bundled into one. How do I raise a good kid? Be a positive role model. We all know that parenting is one of the toughest jobs, but there is hope. There is one simple thing that we can do to encourage good, mature behavior in our kids. We need to become positive role models. Michael C. Bradley, in his book, Yes, Your Teen is Crazy, assures parents that your morals, values, and ethics become an integral part of your child's psychological makeup. If you've been teaching good values to your children, those values will stay with them throughout their lives. During adolescence, it may seem like they've forgotten much of what you taught them, but those principles are still there, and they will reappear in time. Keep on being a positive role model, and there's an excellent chance that your child will grow up to be just like you. Authentically communicate your values. As we mentioned before, we as parents need to live our lives as good people if we want our children to grow up to be good people as well. It would also benefit children if they can hear what our values are. But we need to be careful. We somehow feel that the best way to teach our kids is through lecturing and admonishments, or we sometimes even deride their choices to get our point across. For example, when we lecture our kids, we might say, "You know you need to listen and follow the rules in our house. Society has rules for a reason. It's important that we abide by these rules," etc. When we admonish our kids, we might say, "How could you lie about your homework? What were you thinking?" And when we deride our kids' choices, we might say, "All you watch on TV are garbage shows. You should watch educational television. That will help you expand your knowledge." Instead, we want to try stating our beliefs and values in a non-confrontational manner, using I statements. I believe that rules are important to help our home run smoothly. I believe that homework should be done in a timely fashion. I believe that educational TV shows help me expand my knowledge of this world. When we talk about ourselves and what we believe in, we make a big impression on our kids. They can hear our viewpoints about what behavior makes a good person clearly and succinctly. These simple I statements seem benign, but kids can hear us without feeling that they have to defend themselves or be pushed into an opinion that they might not share. Notice the good behavior. As parents, we're so anxious that our children behave appropriately that we notice all of our children's bad behavior and we point it out to them. You forgot to feed the dog again. You need to say thank you when I give you a snack. Stop grabbing the toys. Children need positive attention from their parents. If they don't get positive attention from us, they'll settle for negative attention and probably go elsewhere to look for it. We often spend more time and energy talking and attending to children when they misbehave, and then we don't acknowledge their positive or even neutral behavior. But when we do this, we're inadvertently reinforcing their negative behavior. To reinforce their good behavior, it makes more psychological sense to focus on their positive behavior and point it out to them. To teach them to be responsible, praise them at a time when they act responsible. Our puppy wanted to go out for a walk and you took him. That's called being responsible. To teach them to be grateful, praise them at a time when they act grateful. You remembered to say thank you to Sam's mom when she gave you a snack. To teach them self-control, praise them at a time when they act patient. You're being patient while we wait for our turn here at the shoe store. And what about the times that we need to admonish our kids? Make sure to start off positively and end in a positive way. I know you love to take the dogs on walks. You've been very responsible about that. Feeding the dog is your job. I know you'll figure out a way to remember to do that. If you need help figuring that out, let me know. I know you want to make sure that Fido stays healthy and safe. Raising good kids is a tough job, but with some intention, it can be done. Role modeling, sharing our values in a non-confrontational manner, and praising our kids' good behavior can all help. You just listened to the post titled, 3 Simple Ways to Raise Good Kids by Adina Soclof of ParentingSimply.com. And thank you to Adina for some great ideas as always about the parenting journey. Though it should be said that a lot of her words today are really applicable not just for how we interact with our children, but how we interact with anyone. This is particularly true when it comes to noticing others' good behavior, as she said. I suppose as adults, though, it's more about noticing someone's good efforts. You know, it may sound cliche, but we're all working so hard, we're all doing our best to wade through our own battles, regardless of how conscious we are of this process. To go out of our way and recognize the accomplishments or intentions of others is a really big piece to building relationships, as it gives others a chance to feel as though they are valued and that their hard work is not going unnoticed. It might be exactly what someone needs to hear, and it's a great way of sharing genuine positivity that helps others see the good in themselves, and it helps us see the good in others. So, go offer some real compliments today, everyone. It's time to wrap up another parenting post, but we will be back with another one tomorrow too. So don't miss out. In the meantime, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time for 1470. That's where your optimal life awaits.